This video chart presentation of PAYD Inc., brought to you by allpennystocks.com. PAYD is a bulletin board listed company trading our ticker PAYD. See right off by the RSI, some momentum trying to come into the play. Stock's making a real nice bounce off the bottom, dipping as low as 6.9 cents. Big bounce all the way back up to resistance point at 11 cents, which ties in with the 50-day moving average. As a technical stock to watch this week, it's on radar to try and move through that resistance point. We'll take a look at the indicators, see if they're giving us any hints that might happen. MACD making a slightly higher low. That's not that big of a deal. Bullish cross, it's happened though right there when the stock started to make a climb. Moving back towards zero now, much like it did right through here. I don't want to see just a 12 punch through zero. I want to see this purple line, the 26 EMA. I want to see that break through zero as well, because I want to start to see some higher highs in the MACD, show a strong upward trend coming off this bottom. Similar look with the PPO, although it's actually making a slightly lower low. That's not an ideal situation. You want to see at least the same level or perhaps a higher level, because again, I'm looking for upward channels. I think it is important to note, we talk about this a lot of times, ADX down near 10. That shows very little strength to any direction, and typically it's a good area to start to look for a bounce. Now, it's not a be-all, end-all indicator. You can see it does dip below 10 sometimes. But point being, when it gets near 10, I start to look for the ADX to make a bounce and try and add some strength to a direction. Money flow index trying to hold above 50 at this point. That's a good sign of upward price pressure and buying. It's a very nice look at the accumulation distribution. It's about a 9-month upward channel. Shows good buying in the play. Shaking money flow is in the green, saying that over the last 20 periods, buying pressure is outweighing selling pressure. Not a big fan that it's actually making lower lows like that. I'll look for this shaking money flow, try and push up and get up much higher around 0.3, something like that, to show that the buying pressure is far outweighing the selling pressure. CCI per definition, breakthrough 100, that's the buy point. Full stow, it's a gauge of momentum, moving upward nicely, showing that there is some bullish momentum in the play. Again, any sort of pullback, want to see it hold over top of 50, show that bullish momentum is sustained in the play. Tricks, also a gauge of trend, down very low, in a downward pattern right now, but it did drop a bullish cross. And in the longer term, I'm not talking this week, I'd be looking for that trend line to be broken, tricks to break back through zero, and to show that in the grander scheme of things, this downward trend is being broken. As I mentioned at the beginning, RSI is pushing upward. All three components that I use now holding over top of 50. Even the RSI 21 is right at that level right now. It's an important factor if this starts to break back down. Of course, that'll tie in with the candles and mean that the price per share is probably dipping as well. But using the two in conjunction with each other, I want to see all three components of this RSI holding that upper half of the indicator, basically trading in this sort of a rectangle idea, holding that level, show that there's bullish momentum in the play. Stock has obviously been in a pretty long-term downtrend. This is going on about 6 months now. Lost quite a bit of its value from up here around 28 cents. And if it's going to break out of that trend, one, there is a trend line through there, and that's somewhat important to me. But there's a pretty strong resistance point right there at 11 cents. And I'd really want to see that get broken. I'd want to see this price per share on an increased volume move through this 50-day moving average. And then a big component for me would be if it pulls back, hold that old resistance point as a new support level. If it makes a move upward, I could never try and predict how high it's going to go. Strong resistance doesn't really come in until up around 17 cents. Ties in with the 200-day moving average right now, but of course that's dynamic. It's going to continue to trend downward. But we always look at charts in the short term with the idea there could be some upward pressure that's immediate. And then in the long term, if it hits a resistance point, pulls back, what do you look for? What sort of patterns could be formed? And in the case of this, if it goes up, hits some resistance, pulls back, holds that, it could be making a pretty large inverted head and shoulders. That's a strong reversal pattern. So making this break through the 11-cent resistance, and then on any pullback, holding 11 cents as a new support level, and then following along with it and seeing if it can break through 17 cents. Those are some key things that I'd be looking for in the PAYD chart. Volume picked up incrementally the last 4 days of last week. And to kick off this week, I'd be looking for another strong volume day. 735,000 shares traded on Friday. I'd want to see over 1 million shares, something along those lines, to show some real strength and blow through this resistance and importantly take out that 50-day moving average. It's a nice looking technical chart to watch, and we'll be keeping an eye on it this week to see how it performs. But as always, it's merely my interpretation of the PAYD chart. I'm not a financial consultant. Strongly encourage you to do your own proper due diligence. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Please visit the allpennystocks.com website to do the full disclaimer disclosure, and do not base any investment decisions on any material found on the website and/or its video chart. No person employed by All Penny Stocks is a registered investment advisor or licensed broker-dealer. Thank you for watching, and trade smart.